Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video about how to learn any language by yourself, and you can do it. You can learn a language, believe yourself, because you will do it. If you want to put your mind to it, you can do it. This is kind of requested by quite a few people because they just want to know how to go about learning a language, and this is just what I do. Everyone has a different way of doing it, and you have to kind of find your own personal style. But you could try out my recommendations and my tips and advice, and hopefully that would work. So I'm firstly going to start by saying throughout your language learning you should get a dictionary, and I would totally recommend to get 2 dictionaries. I would get a really big thick one because then you have like everything you would ever need, because there will be loads of words in that language that you don't know and sometimes you need to look up. But sometimes if you're going out somewhere you might want a pocket-sized dictionary as well. They're a little small, lighter and more compact, so you can just fit it anywhere in your bag or something and take it away. Because if you're on the go, sometimes you really do need to use a language skill. Sometimes that's when you'll be using the most and you need reference. I would also recommend that if you have a smartphone, tablet or anything that you can get apps on, please get a dictionary app because they're very, very useful. I personally use word reference because this has like examples of the word, so you can actually see it in its everyday context, which is kind of like when you're going to see it and when you're going to use it anyway. Sometimes the same word can mean multiple things, and you don't want to be going in a dictionary where sometimes there isn't much explanation. I think because of these explanations it means no mistakes when you're learning, so it is definitely a foolproof way to find out what a word means. I would also recommend to have a notebook. Maybe you can jot down some notes throughout your learning, because I think once everything's together it's very organised and you won't lose anything, because obviously everything you learn is going to be of good use and you're going to need it at some point. You don't want loads of random pieces of paper flying around everywhere, because that is personally not useful. You could have a folder or like a notebook. You could have like half of it grammar, half of it vocab or something. However you want to do it, just try and find a way where all your notes are together. So now on to how to actually go about learning a language. The first thing is to watch foreign films, news or anything, YouTubers that's speaking that language, because you'll understand the pronunciation from that. You'll get an idea of what you need to sound like, and you can almost like mimic them how they actually speak. That is what your aim is, and that is what you're trying to be like. Of course you can actually study the pronunciation rules and everything, but I think it's sometimes more effective to actually listen to it. I think it's a better way to actually learn it and memorize how to actually say stuff. I'd say after you've done that, now you can start learning some basic phrases, maybe some greetings and introductions, just so you can say something in the language. If there's any particular vocab that you want to know that's quite simple, you can look that up, learn that as well, but don't go too complicated or scientific at this time because it will confuse you and it might just be too much. The third thing you need to do is start learning some basic grammar, and I don't mean literally studying every single grammar rule there is out there, because that would take a long time. You just need to be able to understand the basics. So for example, adjective agreements, negatives, basic tenses. You want to be able to talk in the past, present and future at least. If you want to learn a few more as well, you can, but I think that once you feel confident enough that you can actually string a sentence together, that is telling you that you can move on and you can learn more, vocab, and you can actually start using the language a little bit more. I'd say at this point now you've actually learned some basic grammar and some basic vocab. I think it's a nice time to actually start to meet some people in that language, so you can meet your foreign friends out there. There are many language exchange programs on Google. If you just search in like meet a Spanish friend or Spanish to English meet exchange or whatever you want to type in, you will find something. There are some really good websites which I'll probably link down below as well. You can go on Skype, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Anything where you're actually talking to these people is very useful. It'll give you some confidence and also some motivation. You'll really feel like, I want to be like them, I want to speak like that. And of course, if they're native, they're going to be a lot better than you at that stage, but you could eventually be really good too. So, keep going, keep working at it. I'd say at this stage, you really just need to kind of go off and just learn. After you've learned the basics, you can really do what you want. But I think, start learning more vocab. Probably maybe divide it into topics. Like you could get like a vocab book and learn some different words. Vocab does give you power to express yourself in that language. You do need to know words to be able to talk about what you want in your everyday life. And I think the more vocab you know, the more spontaneous you're going to be, because you'll be able to like know all the words that you're going to want to use. However, you do need to learn in your own personalized style. I cannot personally say this is correct, this is incorrect. It's what works for you. You could use flashcards where you have the language and your native language on one side and just play like word games with that. You could chant out the words in like a song and just keep doing that. Sometimes that's effective. Like for example, run around the house chanting some foreign words. If you want to do that, you can if you want. Label things as well. Sometimes that's useful for like objects in the house. For example, you might want to label camera, tripod, tablet, desk, anything you want to label, just label things, because that's really useful, because it's like pictured in your mind, you remember it like that. Just do whatever is most useful for you, and I would recommend learn vocab frequently and in small doses. So maybe like half an hour a day, just learn a bit of vocab, keep practicing it and keep using it as well. When you learn new vocab, try and use it in the same day in like a sentence. Maybe if you want to write out some examples of that word in a sentence that you would personally use and you would need to know in your life what you're going to say to people, that would be really useful, because again, it's like getting into the context that you're going to use it in, because obviously you won't go up to someone and start chanting random words, because that wouldn't make sense. You need to actually form a sentence. Another tip that I would recommend is to use news articles and authentic material in the language you're learning. I think if it comes from something that's actually real, you know, not sort of put down, you know, dumbed down for education or anything, it really pushes you further, and you can go and really just, you know, throw yourself into that, and you will learn, and you'll find it very useful. I would maybe suggest getting a news article, maybe printing it off, and then one paragraph a day. You study that paragraph. Any new vocab you don't know, you learn it, and then you start using it in your everyday life. Maybe make a sentence, and just like before, learn that vocab as much as you can, because I think over time, the more news articles you do like this, you're going to learn even more words, and the same words are going to crop up again and again, and you'll just get more confident as you move down the article and as you go to different articles too. The next thing is to immerse yourself. You constantly need to try and, you know, surround yourself with the language. You need to use it regularly. Obviously you can't learn the language without using it, because that is the idea, to use it, and you just need to be confident. Just go for it and you will be okay. You don't need to worry about it or anything. Sometimes you need to just give it a go. Just throw yourself in there and just try your best. You know, some things will be hard, but you know, I won't lie, you can get through it. The ninth thing is not always possible, but I would say if you can, you should visit the country and try and speak the language to the natives there, because they are so helpful and so friendly. They're very enthusiastic and appreciative that someone is trying to learn their language. And you also learn a little bit about the culture and, you know, their way of life as well when you're there. They will definitely appreciate your effort, and they will always want to help you out. If you want to ask any questions, you just ask them and they would help. Another thing I would say is talk to people that are also learning the language, also going through the same thing, because then you can kind of be like language learning buddies or something. They can help you and you can help them, and I think the positive energy of language learning just really flows between the two of you, and you know, you'll just, you know, be really good. And even if there's like a whole group of you as well learning the language, that would be even more successful. The final thing I have to say is never ever ever give up. Some things in a language will be really hard to learn, other things will be quite easy to learn, and you know, different things are different, but you can never give up. You have to keep going. Remember the advantages to learning a language and what you get out of it, and all the positivity that it, you know, needs. If you just think positive attitude equals positive learning equals positive outcome and where you will be as a result of that, you just, you know, get a spark of motivation and keep going. So never stop, never give up. If you want to ask any questions for me and other language learners, go ahead and do that. And I just have to say, good luck in learning your language. You can do it. You can learn loads of languages. If you want to be a polyglot, which is a person that speaks loads and loads of languages, you can do that if you want. But even if you just want to learn one language, it is still really, really good, and I would recommend it, because language learning is something that you won't regret, because it's so fun. It's totally different to everything else and anything else that you would ever learn. It's not learning facts and figures and statistics. It's constantly using it and almost learning to think in a different way. You'll have to like develop your brain in a way for like Spanish half or French half, whatever language you want to learn. It's definitely a complex thing, but something that you will love. So please give it a go and tell me in the comments below if you're learning any languages, if you want to learn any languages, or if you have any questions, I would respond to them as well. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy your language learning. Good luck, and see you all again later.